Hello everyone, my name is Khalees Gaynor and I decided to have lunch with the other based on the topic of feminine caring approach when hiring in the workplace. On page 20 of the textbook, from a feminist viewpoint, the systems of ethics are usually based on justice. Justice stands overall and everyone should be treated equally. Feminists believe that this approach is associated with a more masculine perspective than a feminine one. Also, a strong distinction between men and women is made. Men look at ethics in a more duty-based way, and they only focus on individual rights and consequences. They respond to situations in a more of an impartial and detached manner. They also believe that everyone should be treated fairly. On page 121 of the textbook, it is stated that men might well care about principles and ethical thinking, but women care for some specific person. A feminist caring approach bases ethics on relationships and morality. Women focus on building and maintaining a network of relationships. A caring approach argues that emotional responses from relationships are just as important, if not more important, than logical reasoning in making ethical judgments. On page 121 in the textbook, it is stated that in relation to virtue ethics, where the ethical act is what the most virtuous person would do, using a caring approach would mean that the most ethical act is what the most caring and virtuous person would do. Meaning, the most caring person would value the relationship and value each person individually to make the best decision in relation to just sticking to a principle or a rule in order to get a job done. It really values the person. An article in Women's Studies Communication Journal by Sarah Hayden says, justice-based morality appeals to presumably impartial principles to ensure equal treatment for all. An ethic of care, on the other hand, people are perceived interrelated, meaning there's a collective human need, and it considers specific circumstances, not the overall, just specific circumstances, and in a moral society, all people's needs are met individually. In my conversation with the other, we decided to talk about hiring strategies in the workplace. We discussed degree type and educational level versus personality and general experience. My partner believed in the old system, which is degree over personality or experience, which is basically just following the duties and the principles. And my partner also believed that educational level is key no matter what. It doesn't matter what race you are, if you're a female or a male or age or anything. As long as you have your degree, that puts you above everyone else, and that's all that matters. The feminist caring approach would more so focus on personality, getting to know the person. Degree type doesn't always matter. You have to more so focus on how the person that you're hiring would fit into the mold and also be able to work with everyone and fit everyone's individual needs along with theirs. Degree type wouldn't necessarily tell you that. When applying a caring approach to our conversation, my partner and I differed on some views. My partner seemed to be stuck in the old system and only focused on the rules and the principles over the relationship. He believed that in order to get hired, it was just a degree type, and that's what qualified you for it, and that's what was going to get the job done. That's what was bringing the money in. It did not matter if you would fit into the mold or not. It's just strictly based on the degree type. In communicating with my partner seemed kind of opinionated and a little dominating and wanted their point across more than anything, and also remained strictly impartial and detached. I pushed for a more caring approach. I believe that a person's individuality and personality, along with work experience, was most valuable. The degree type is just one factor, and that just shows your educational level. It doesn't show your qualification. And my opinions throughout the conversation seemed to kind of appear a little subordinate and didn't seem to be getting across to my partner. This kind of relates back to a more feminist view where it's like the men tend to dominate the women in a way, and their opinions seem to be what was key, and also seemed to be what was more acceptable. In regards to our conversation, my partner and I had a few criticisms of each other's viewpoints. My partner believed that a feminist caring approach doesn't always allow impartiality, meaning getting things done properly doesn't always require feeling in relationships. Feelings in relationships could get in the way and allow for us to not be able to make decisions promptly. Adding in our feelings and relationship status with people would also allow for there to be bias. On my side of the story, I thought that there were limitations to a fairness approach. Everyone doesn't deserve the same treatment every time. For an example of that would be in my undergrad, a professor decided to issue out a curve during a test. Now, the curve basically bumps people up a grade level or something like that. And we know that a lot of people don't deserve that. It's not entirely fair. And going back to my partner, who was very big on the degree type and knowing that if you had that degree, you were qualified. Some people aren't qualified because some people, because of professors like that would give a curve, they don't learn anything. So really they lose. So I believe that the relationship and getting to know the person and other types of experience would overrule the degree type. As for our conversation, the masculine opinion seemed more superior and unchanging. My partner was pretty much stuck in his ways and wasn't willing to change.